Welcome back to Fluent in 15, the podcast that helps you speak English with confidence in just a quarter of an hour. I'm your host, Sarah, and today we're tackling the biggest hurdle most learners face, actually speaking.
Thanks for having me, Sarah. I'm really excited to be here.
Mark, I know you're a really confident speaker now, but was it always that way?
Honestly, absolutely not. 2 years ago, I was a disaster.
Oh, I think we've all been there. Can you tell us about your first experience speaking English in London?
Sure. I remember the first time I tried to order a coffee. I practiced it in my head for 20 minutes thinking, I would like a latte, please. Simple, right?
Totally. But what happened when you got to the counter?
Well, the barista asked, anything else? And my mind just went blank. I froze.
That's such a relatable moment. What did you end up doing?
I panicked and just pointed at a croissant and said, that. Yes. It was embarrassing, but it was also a turning point.
A turning point? How so?
It made me realize that speaking isn't just about perfect grammar or vocabulary. It's about communication, even if it's messy.
That's a great insight. So, what strategies did you start using to build your confidence?
I focused on practice. I sought out conversations and didn't worry about making mistakes as much.
And did you find specific situations or people that helped?
Definitely, I found language exchange partners who were also learning, so we supported each other.
That's interesting. Were there any particular resources or tools you used?
I used apps like Tandem and HelloTalk, which connect you with native speakers.
Those are popular choices. How did you approach speaking practice in those settings?
I made it a point to speak at least once a day, starting with simple topics like hobbies.
That sounds manageable. What about grammar? Did you focus on that too?
Absolutely, but I didn't let it paralyze me. I learned key phrases and structures to get by.
And how long did it take before you felt comfortable speaking?
Honestly, it took months. But I remember a moment in a cafe where I ordered fluently. It was liberating.
Wow, that must have felt incredible. What advice would you give listeners facing similar fears?
Practice regularly, don't fear mistakes, and find supportive environments. That's key.
So, to recap, it's about consistent practice and creating a supportive network.
Exactly, and setting small, achievable goals helps too.
Have you continued that practice now that you're confident?
Definitely, I still engage with others, and I even help newcomers now.
That's fantastic. It's like you're giving back to the community.
I think it's important. We all need encouragement when we start.
What do you think is the most common misconception about learning to speak a new language?
That you need to be perfect. I think fluency comes with time and practice.
Right. So many learners get discouraged by their mistakes.
Exactly. Mistakes are opportunities to learn, not failures.
What about cultural aspects? Did learning about British culture help?
Definitely, understanding cultural nuances made conversations more engaging.
That's a good point. How did you immerse yourself in the culture?
I attended local events and made friends who introduced me to their customs.
That must have helped build your confidence as well.
For sure. The more I participated, the more comfortable I became.
And how do you maintain your English skills today?
I read, listen to podcasts, and engage in discussions regularly.
That's a solid strategy. It sounds like you found a balanced approach.
Absolutely, it's all about keeping the momentum going.
Before we wrap up, what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
Embrace the process, every little step counts, and confidence builds over time.
Great advice. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today.
Thank you for having me, Sarah. I hope this helps others on their language journey.
That's a wrap for today's episode. Remember, practice is key and you're not alone. Until next time. Okay, so we've set up the mindset and the building blocks. But let's dive deeper. Can you explain how the KISS principle applies specifically to sentence structure?
Absolutely, the key as instead of saying narin trida sem parlors and bill not written in the it's an kitchen. The certain said in Natama that Nandi and Kenya and Apshaya and instead of sin na is esa marar na cha sa in ai sa sai ai si na na at sa tini na. I have been working diligently on my project and I am now experiencing fatigue. You would say, I worked hard. I feel tired. This not only makes your sentences clearer, but also more impactful.
That makes a lot of sense. So, you'd say that simplicity enhances both clarity and engagement?
Exactly. When you simplify, you reduce cognitive load on the listener. They can grasp your message without getting bogged down by complex grammar.
Let's get back to those building blocks. You mentioned a sentence starter list earlier. How can listeners effectively use these starters?
Listeners can practice by incorporating these starters into everyday conversations. By using phrases like I think or I need, it helps structure their thoughts and express themselves clearly without overthinking.
And this ties back to our earlier point about mindset. If you feel confident with these starters, it's easier to communicate.
Exactly. Confidence breeds clarity. The more you use these starters, the more natural they become, allowing for smoother conversations.
Let's talk about that live exercise. What benefits do you think come from simply speaking without editing?
Speaking freely helps to build fluency. It's about letting your thoughts flow naturally. The more you practice, the more you train your brain to connect words quickly.
Right. And that's crucial in real-life conversations. You don't have the luxury of time to construct perfect sentences.
Exactly. This pressure can often lead to anxiety, but if you focus on key concepts and avoid overthinking, it becomes much easier.
So, if someone gets stuck, what are those specific rescue phrases again? Can you go over them?
Sure. Phrases like what's the word can signal to your conversation partner that you're searching. How do you say can give you a moment to think while involving them.
And using descriptions can be super helpful too. Like, if you forget the word umbrella, you might say, it's like a thing that keeps you dry in the rain.
Exactly. This technique not only buys you time, but also keeps the conversation flowing. It shows your partner you're engaged.
That's a great point. So, essentially, these techniques can help reduce the pressure of speaking.
Yes, and by reducing pressure, you open yourself up to more opportunities to practice and improve.
So, to wrap up this section, focusing on simplicity and having recovery strategies can really enhance communication. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Mastering these elements allows for more fluid and confident interactions.
I think that's a perfect note to transition to our next topic. Thanks for breaking that down. That's a fantastic mindset to have. The idea of speaking badly as a step towards improvement is so crucial. It really removes the fear of failure, right?
Exactly. Embracing mistakes is part of the learning process. Each error is a learning opportunity that can enhance your skills over time.
Let's go back to those practical tasks. The 30-second daily monologue seems simple yet effective. It's a great way to build daily habits.
Absolutely. It encourages spontaneous thinking in English and helps reinforce vocabulary in a context that's comfortable.
And the shadowing technique? That one seems powerful for both pronunciation and rhythm.
Yes, it's particularly useful. Mimicking a native speaker's rhythm helps you internalize the flow of the language, which is often overlooked.
The 30-minute challenge really stands out as a method for immersion. It forces consistent exposure to English.
Right, and immersion builds familiarity. When you shift all your devices to English, it creates an environment that stimulates learning effortlessly.
So, to recap those tasks, the monologue, shadowing, and the immersion challenge all target different aspects of fluency.
Exactly. It's a comprehensive approach that can cater to various learning styles, which is really important.
Mark, your insights today have been so actionable. I think our listeners will find these tasks incredibly helpful.
I appreciate that. The aim is to make language learning approachable and fun.
And that's the key takeaway: language learning doesn't have to be intimidating. It can actually be enjoyable.
Absolutely, the path to fluency is more about the journey than the destination. Enjoy each step.
For everyone listening, remember to embrace the process. Don't shy away from mistakes. They're part of the journey.
And keep in mind, each speaking opportunity is a chance to improve. So take those chances.
Thank you for tuning into this episode. We hope you feel empowered to practice and make those mistakes.
Thank you for having me, and to all the listeners, happy speaking.
This has been Fluent in 15. Until next time, keep practicing and speaking.